Hello again to all my friends, ladies, gents, students, teachers, cats, dogs, pets of all kind, whoever's watching this video. As always, it is Mr. Benjamin here, smiling politely. That smiley face might not be big enough, so let's put another big one here. And let's put another one right here, but this one's kind of in the middle. Anyways, today we are looking at chapter 6.4, which is adding integers. So we've talked about what integers are. We've talked about comparing them, greater than, less than, the Pac-Man symbols, equals, waka 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 waka. I know some of you are going to be saying Pac-Man's supposed to be yellow, but I'm not going to change my color right now. But anyways, we've talked about all that and how to compare them and where we find positive and negative numbers. Now we're going to talk about how we add them. So our learning goals for today is to add integers. Everyone remembers that word. Integers can be positive or negative. Integers are always whole numbers. And we're going to be doing this with and without models. So we're going to recall the zero principle, which is something we've talked about. Now I've got two questions here. I should probably separate these with a line. Let's separate them like that. This one will be question 1, this one will be question 2. The zero principle is when we take positive and negative numbers and we put them together, we end up with 0. So for example, if I have 3 negative counters, 1, 2, 3, and 3 positive counters, 1, 2, and 3. We use blue as negative and red as positive. We do that because when we think of temperature and thermometers and water, basically, if we have really hot water, our red tap is usually a red H, and our cold tap is usually a blue C. If you don't like these colors, pick your own colors, just make sure you know which one's which. Anyways, if we look at what we have, here we have a set, 1 blue and 1 red. Here we have another set, 1 blue, 1 red. Here we have another set, 1 blue, 1 red. Now, each one of these, if we look at these as an individual, so we're just going to look at this first one here. If this is negative 1, and this is positive 1, they actually cancel out. They become 0. Because if you have negative 1 on the left side and positive 1 on the right side, they end up being 0. So all of this cancels out. Now I've got 2 more. Here's another red and another blue, and another red and another blue. And they're both positive and negative 1 as well. So when we take away all these counters, we have 0. So negative 3 plus positive 3 equals 0. Now, let's look at this next question. Here we have 5 blue counters. And on the red side, we only have positive 2. 1 and 2. Okay, well, we can't cancel. I'm sorry, I'm going to start that again. We cannot cancel all of them out because the numbers just don't add up, right? But what we can do, I'm going to move them around so they're beside each other. So there's that. Whoops. So there's one of my negatives. I'm going to move it beside one of my positives. And that cancels out to equal 0. And I'm going to move another one over. There's my negative. There's my positive. Now that equals 0 as well. Because each one is minus 1 and positive 1. Right? Now I've got nothing left here. I've got nothing on my positive side. But I do have 1, 2, 3. That looks a little awkward, so I'm going to cover that in a square instead. I have 3 negatives left. So if I add negative 5 and positive 2, I end up with negative 3. Another way we can model our integers is by using a number line. So I'm going to draw a number line here. This is going to be a pretty big number line. That's my 0. This over here will be negative 30. And this on this side will be, oh, that's going to be positive, sorry. I'm going to redraw my line because I know you won't be able to see that part, so I'm going to draw it up here. Positive 30. This side will be negative 30. And 0 in the middle. Kind of looks like a 0. There we go. Now, halfway will be 15. Halfway will be 15. This should be 20. That will be 25. Here will be negative 25. Here will be negative 20. We'll call that 10 and that 10. Negative 10, negative 10. So everything on this side, I'm going to redraw it as a negative in blue. Negative 30, negative 25, negative 20, negative 15, negative 10. Everything on this side is going to be red because it's positive. Positive 30, positive 25, positive 20, positive 15, positive 10. Now I apologize, my scale, or my number line is not to scale, but we can clearly see the numbers corresponding with each tick on the line. So I'm going to start off at positive 20. Positive 20 is right here, right? That's positive 20. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find negative 25. And I'm going to go all the way down. Oops. For that, I'm going to show you that from 0 to 20 is right there. Now, I'm going to erase that and bring it over here. I apologize for the space issue. So there's my positive 20. I went from 0 to positive 20, so that's taken care of. Now, from here, I need to go back 25. Sorry, my... Feels like my stylus stopped working, but it's good. Now I'm going to go back 5, 10, 15, 20. That's 20 all the way, but I still have 5 more. So that's where we end up. 5, 10, 15, 20, it's 25. So, positive 20 plus negative 25 gives us negative 5. Now, I like to deal with money. Why? Because we need money. And money is a realistic way of looking at things. So, if I have $300 in the bank, and I withdraw, or I take out, $250, how much do I have left? Well, that's pretty simple. I started with $300, I took away $250, I have $50 left, right? Now, if I wanted to turn this into a question about integers, I would have to do it in a slightly different way. The money we're going to start off in the bank is going to be positive. I'm plus 300. I'm going to add a negative value. That sounds really weird, I know. But I'm going to add negative 250. Why? Because I am withdrawing 250. I'm taking 250 away from my bank. I still end up with the same value, though. I still end up with 50. We're going to do another quick example. This one has to do with people interacting, not just banks. So if I have $32, but I owe a friend $40, how much money do I actually have? Well, my positive is going to be the money I have. So positive 32. Now I'm going to add in my debt, which is what I owe, which is negative 40. Okay, now if we think about it, I have $32, I owe him 40. I can't pay him back the full $40, can I? Unless I can make money, which I don't think I can. Or can I? Bam. Done. I know it's Monopoly money, but that's all I have. I'm sorry. So let's get back to this. Positive 32, negative 40. If I give him back all the money that I have, that I owe him, if I give him the $32 back, I end up with, I still owe him $8. So I'm going to write that as negative 8. So I've paid back most of my debt, but I still owe him some money. I'm going to try a different example here. Same idea though. If I owe a friend $35 and I have $40, so I owe him 35, but I have 40 in my hand. Now basically what's going to happen here is I can pay off the full debt, right? Because 40 is a greater number than 35. And I'm still going to have some money left. I'm going to be $5. I'm going to have $5 in my hand. So my 35 is my money owed. My 40 is money I have. And the 5 is money I have left over. I apologize, in my last video I did not have a try this, so I'm going to leave you with extra try this questions. And they're basically going to be adding and subtracting integers. Now, the ways you can do this. You can do this with, let me just get rid of this. I'll write it again, don't worry. You can use your counters, which are the blue and the red, equaling 0. Don't like that in red. You can use number lines, or you can do it without modeling. If you're able to do it without modeling, go for it. If you feel like you need to use a counter, go for it. If you want to use a number line, up to you. So we don't forget, I'm going to write that this is our try this. Oh, that looks bad. Try this. Done and done. Now, I've got a couple numbers left here, so I'm just going to think about what I can write here. Let's go positive 52 plus negative 70. Let's try negative, oh, forgot my brackets. Negative, let's do 36 plus negative, 65. Getting to be some big numbers. Let's go negative 14 plus positive 15. And for the last one, we'll do positive 100 plus negative, let's do 19. Alrighty. And as always, at the end of the day, we say thank you. Should probably change up this color. Let's do that. Clear the whole thing off. It's a good color to use for integers. Let's go with, let's try this one. That might be a bit too bright. Oh well. Thank you. Have a great day.